All right, recording started. Let's go into SPY first. So overall on SPY, we have a nice bullish channel that we've been in for quite a while. And on this bullish channel, we can see that it's been respecting, and we are kind of consolidating right now in this bull flag, going sideways, and holding that 411.77 support quite a few times, about 3 times already. Held it. We're just in this sideways channel, beating this bull flag. Now, if we break above that 418, then we should be going to 421.80, and then 426.89, basically 427. If we don't, and we lose that support, then we're coming to this 20-day 409, and then coming to this uptrend channel here at about that could be either 406 or 409 as well, depending what day it hits. And then if we lose this uptrend channel, then we'll be going to this gap fill here at 400, and then hitting the main uptrend channel right here at that 400, 397 area. But as long as 411.77 holds, then we're still bullish, and we should be going towards that 422 and 427 area. Now, I remain bullish as the Qs are telling me basically a little bit of the same thing. So, let's see here, move that. So we have this bull flag formation. We're holding that 335.72 very well. We hit it 1, 2, 3, 4 times and held it. So we're just consolidating on the side, going into a lower time frame. We have a little W pattern forming on the hourly. We have a bull flag forming on the hourly. As long as we hold above 338.60 on the hourly, then we should be setting up to push that 340 and go to 342 and 344. Looks good to me on the hourly. Tech looks good to push higher into the beginning of the week at least. So let's get into some other stocks here. So as we go in from tech, let's go to Netflix. So Netflix, we mentioned after its earnings, we mentioned that it was going to consolidate. We mentioned it was going to consolidate, and we mentioned that we wouldn't really be buyers until either next month or till we get out of this consolidation. Now, this has a huge gap fill right here. Huge gap fill right here. But are we going to gap fill it soon? Don't know. We are holding this 502.80 that we've been holding for 3 days. Going to here. We are just consolidating right here, just basically going nowhere, which we pretty much anticipated that it was going to do. It's just going to go sideways. Sideways, we're not really long it unless it's above this area, and we're not short it unless it's been low here. But this consolidation here, we're pretty much not doing anything. It's going to rely on other techs this week, but I'm still bullish on it overall, long term. Yeah, still bullish on it. I think we're just making room so that we could start pushing towards that 700 area. Okay, that's on Netflix. So basically nothing now. It's just bearish below that 502, bullish above, what's it, 516. So 516. 516 bullish above on the daily, hourly. Okay. And of course, our target would be that gap fill. That would be our target 2. And our target 1 would be the moving averages. Here, okay? And then we would be bearish below 502. Here. All right, or 500. All right, let's go into Amazon here. So Amazon has been kind of consolidating, going sideways. We broke that uptrend here. And we couldn't get above this downtrend. So we've just been trying. Couldn't do it. Okay. We are holding this level here at 3,300 basically. 3,300. We do have that strong support at 3,265. So if we keep on doing this and we get to that 3,265, I would be a buyer. I would be a buyer into earnings. I think this has been setting up for a while, and I think that that it is definitely a good risk to earnings as this cup and handle is setting up, and also these weekly bull flag is setting up, and this weekly bull flag is setting up, and weekly basic cup and handle on the weekly as well. Monthly bull flag setting up, been setting up for a while. I think this is a good risk into earnings. Now, of course, earnings are always 50-50, but considering Amazon has been consolidating for months and months and probably almost a year. Let me see if it's been a year. Let's go to the monthly.
I think it's been about 9 months, 8 or 9 months.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 months, almost a year. So consolidating for 9 months. So I mean, it's about time that it starts moving. And remember, when a stock consolidates for that long, when it starts moving, it's gonna get go. It's gonna keep going. It's gonna be a multi-week, multi-month runner probably. So considering all of the monthly, weekly, and daily charts and the setups, come to that 2665, I'm a buyer. And definitely, if it does drop on earnings, I'm a buyer because I think this one is going to go no matter if it drops on earnings or not. I think it's still going to get going. If it does drop on earnings, I think it's going to be a short-term drop and it's going to get eaten up. But I'm also long into earnings. I would definitely be long into earnings. Nice straight up consolidation. Looks good. I like it. Earnings is this week on the 29th, which is going to be Thursday. So you got 3 days to think about it, see how the price action is. I don't think it's going to do much into earnings. I mean, into those days, except maybe come down to that 32.65. If it does break out before earnings, it might have a anticipation of running. And if it does, then I would probably I would want to say I would probably reduce my position going into earnings if it does that. And then if it does pop, then I'd add more after the pop. Because it pop, probably consolidate maybe a day or two, and then keep going. All right, Amazon. Now let's go Apple. Okay, Apple here. We are just kind of consolidating this cup and handle. Just going sideways, this cup and handle. We did mention that would be buy zone here at 128. If we lost at 133, but we lost at 133, got it back. Lost at 133 and got it back. So this one has been kind of consolidating there. And on the weekly, kind of been doing the same consolidation for a little while. Monthly here. Wait, that's the daily. Monthly here. Monthly here. If it does drop, which I doubt it, if it does drop down here, that would be definitely a buy. But we had a reversal month last month and a confirmation this month, or it's confirming, at least trying to confirm this month. It looks good. RSI reset. Nice little bull flag on the weekly. I don't like these, but the week's not over yet. So that is going to be something that we're going to be looking at definitely after earnings of how this week's candles close. But so far, cup and handle looks good, just consolidating like it should be. So yeah, looking good. Apple buy zones still could be 128. This could definitely drop, but QQQs looks like it wants to push. So considering that QQQs one looked like it's push, then we follow that with tech pushing. So tech could be Apple, Amazon, AMD, all those nice tech stocks. So they look good for a push higher, at least short term. See Apple, Amazon. Here we go. Let me see here. See here.
Yeah, Facebook, AMD.
Okay, AMD. AMD is been consolidating here. Once it gets above that 84, it should take off to this gap fill 88, and then maybe in this zone here 92 area. So that 88 to that 92 area, that's our possible pullback zone for back test. Possibly the gap fill or these moving average, and then set up to push through 94 and keep going towards that 100. So we're still anticipating this push towards this gap fill here and this zone. And then once we get above that zone, 94.75, then that should take off. It should take off. Going into the weekly chart, we hit that long-term uptrend, and we're still on that long-term uptrend, which that long-term uptrend is basically forming a ascending triangle pattern, actually. So if we remove these so we can see. So we're forming a ascending triangle pattern on the weekly chart and basically the monthly chart. We like to see this TTM squeeze slowing the momentum to the downside, so it's starting to start picking up to the upside. RSI, we like to see it above 50 as it is now, and stochastics are crossing over on the weekly. So that is telling us good things on AMD. So I would be long here on AMD. I'd be long into earnings as well. Considering there's a chip shortage as well, I would be definitely long AMD. They might blow earnings out, and those are 427. 427 is going to be soon on Tuesday. So Tuesday we have earnings, and that could be a good one. That could definitely be a good one. That could be why we're consolidating down here, and then earnings could pop it, and we could definitely have a good earnings session. So last earnings, they beat, but they missed. So they beat and they missed. So they beat on earnings estimates. Earnings EPS, but I'm sure they missed on revenue. And then it looks like that's what they did on the previous ones. And then 2 earnings ago, they beat big time. So
check out the the correlation between QQQ, I'm sorry for cutting you off, and AMD up until about I think about last month or 2 months before the correction, they were falling almost identical, AMD and QQQ. But we saw QQQ break all-time high, and we've seen now AMD just sit down here near the 200 SMA consolidating. So it should be, I mean, in a perfect world, back when it was mimicking the same price action as QQQ, it should be well around $95, $96, but it hasn't. So I just think that's something unique to look at, is the QQQ and AMD correlation. It definitely looks like it's overdue for a pop, and it's just been hunted down by the chip shortage, unfortunately, for a lot of chip stocks, which makes sense. But definitely AMD earnings this week could set a major a role for the rest of the chip stocks in the stock market.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we were watching that. So AMD, Amazon. So AMD, Amazon. We are watching on earnings. Apple too. Apple earnings. So Apple, AMD, Amazon earnings this week. Looks good. All right. Now let's go into see here. We got Netflix already done. Apple already done. Let's go into DocuSign. So DocuSign, we had mentioned on DocuSign that that 203.84 area was a buy zone, and here we could see that it's been bought and creating this nice little bullish channel here. Basically here. So nice channel. So we're headed towards this target of 239, and then essentially we're just going to be grinding on up to this 265 target. Once we get that 265 target, this could be a big cup, and it consolidates, and then it could break through and push that 190 or 290, and then head to that 350. So the DocuSign is consolidation in this zone right here. Here in this zone. Looks good. Looks good for a push higher, especially if it maintains this channel. Maintains this channel here, then it's going to be continuing up, push through that 100 SMA. And once we push through that 100 SMA, 240 and 255 should come. Let's see here. Keep this here. Let's go to that 255 area. There we go. So once we push that 240 and then 255 area should be heading up, and then head to that 265. Once we get to that 265, then that should be good resistance, as this one has resistance there, resistance here. So that zone, that 265 zone, good resistance. So we could definitely do a cup and handle. Let's go to the weekly chart really quick. Definitely, we got a squeeze, firing, and with momentum to the upside. And we have green crossing over, RSI over the 50, stochastics twisting. So this one is still on a buy the dip situation on DocuSign. I like it. I like it. Monthly looks beautiful. Monthly looks beautiful. Yeah, I'm definitely long this one. Definitely like this one. All this consolidation here. DocuSign, I mean, the more and more things that are getting that you have to, get away from people and not be in physical contact. DocuSign is a huge benefit to that. on documents. I've actually in the past year, I've signed more things on DocuSign than I think I've ever had. So DocuSign has been one of those sleeper stocks that well, it's in sleeping mode right now. I think that once it breaks out, I mean, look at that huge squeeze that we had all the momentum to the downside, and now the momentum switching, and the squeeze is trying to fire. RSI above 50, DMI crossover, stochastics double bottom. Looks good. I think this looks good. When is earnings on this one? Earnings is not until 6/3. I think when they have earnings, this coming earnings, it's gonna blow it out the water. I think so. Let's see, what did last earnings do? Last earnings was a big beat. Let's see, big beat. I think they have another big beat. But then I think this time when it beats, it's gonna rip through. It's gonna definitely rip through. I like that design a lot.
We got some resistance at 290. You might even get 290 here in a few weeks, to be honest. Look at
Possibly.
the resistance trend line from the top, across the top where it keeps getting denied. It looks like it might line up with 290 from the left side to the right too.
Yeah,
Well.
290 is already here, breakout point. Yeah. So yeah, we could definitely get there. If we put that 265, our main target right now. Above that, sure, 290. But hopefully we get to that 265 before earnings. We build a
Yep.
little cup and handle and then rip it. That would be nice.
Yes, sir.
DocuSign, since we're in the D's, let's see, DDOG. So DDOG, we've been telling us to be a buyer at the 84.11 target. It did. It bounced nicely and it got to that 90 area, stopped right at that 50. We still have that beautiful bullish divergence on here. So we are a buyer. Earnings coming up 5/6, so that's next week, I believe. Let me double check here. Yep, next week, Thursday. Next week, Thursday is earnings. Next, it looks good. I saw plenty of buyers on this one into the 90s and hundreds. There is a gap fill here. Gap fill here. Okay, low 114.73. 73. All right, that is the gap fill on the daily here. All right, so this one looks good. Looks really good. I like it a lot. Let's see. That could be forming. Let's see here. Could it be? Yep, that could be it. There we go. So we could be forming this little channel here going up. We'll be forming this little channel here. So I'm still a long buyer on DDOG. Looks good. Earnings coming up in 2 weeks. It might have a little earnings run. And then if it does push through the moving averages, that's going to be a very good sign, especially if the moving averages are going to start turning up. We did pass that 200 on the 50, so we need that 50 to start crossing back up. So let's go into a weekly chart. Weekly chart, this was beautiful support here, and then now kind of this consolidation coming from here is a consolidating. Momentum to the downside is slowing. Once we get above that 50, that should be good. Stochastics want to cross over, or they're actually already crossing over. And a nice bull flag on the monthly chart. This one definitely can be a big winner. Could move 100 points within the next year, and looks good. So DDOG, solid one, solid. All right, let's go into BA. So let's get out of here. So BA was in this long-term bullish channel. Now we're in bullish pennant. So this bullish pennant here held this bottom and held it a couple days. Now we're trying to get above that 238.54. Once we get above that 238.54, we should test that downtrend again at basically 245. So 242 is a target. If we get above it, that 50-day, and that 242 is a gap fill. So let me put that in as well, gap fill. So gap fill, stochastics telling us, hey, bottom is in. Bottom is in. So stochastics telling us bottom's in. There's a squeeze firing down on the daily, but the stock is not going down. That is a big divergence that I love to see. Whenever a stock is firing their squeeze to the downside hard and the stock isn't going in the direction that it's pushing, then that's telling you that the stock is strong and it wants to push back up. And that's what BA is basically doing. It's holding that level. Squeeze is firing down, but it's not going down. It's going sideways. So that's telling us, hey, stock is good to turn around. So we're definitely watching BA. BA's earnings are coming up. They're coming up soon. Let me double check when the earnings are here. So we have them 4/28, which is Wednesday. So that leaves 2 days. We could consolidate for 2 days, maybe pop up, hit that gap fill, and then within those turn days, this pattern is going to pop. Now, what do I think? Am I long BA into earnings? Yeah, definitely long BA into earnings. Why? Stochastics telling us that we're basically at the bottom, and we're at the lower end of the bullish channel as well. So this bullish channel we see on the weekly, this bullish channel, we're at the lower end of it. We're right at that 20-day as well. So beautiful bull flag, well, bullish pennant, and it's holding that. I think this one is set up to launch towards that 300 target that we're looking for. So BA earnings coming up. I think earnings could rocket it, at least get it out of this bullish pennant, push it, and then head higher. Let me see on the monthly chart. That 300 is going to be good resistance at 308, strong resistance there. But yeah, monthly chart, the RSI getting above 50, which is great. Stochastics looks great. DMI looks great. TTM squeeze looks great. Everything looks great on the monthly chart. Let me see what the price action is. Price action looks fine. We had a bullish breakout here, and let's see if we hold it and then push it. If we do, then we'll be looking good. We'll be looking real good. So we been in pop, sell off, pop, sell off. So we should get another pop and then sell off. That'd be a nice little push higher for BA. Anything you want to add, BA? I mean, P?
Yeah, no, like you said, two touches off the 232, right? And we saw that on the weekly. We had put in two bottoming tails on those weekly candles, signaling that that 232 should be some strong support, as it's been holding it since last week. And just to touch on the stochastics, right? So we take it back, we run this back through. Let's see, where we had the last crossover at? March 25th, 4th. What is that?
325.
So the last crossover, you see how there was a lot of gap in between that fast and that slow, right? So on the stochastic, and we had the bottoming on the fast, which showed it, but the separation or where the actual slow was in correlation to the fast, you see how the fast hit the green line and then the slow is like barely in the middle. So it didn't give us, when we had this crossover on the stochastic, the previous crossover, it didn't give us an explosive move as the slow wasn't near the oversold, right? So as we get closer to the oversold with the slow and the fast and them crossing over, the fast crossing over the slow, creates an explosive move, right? And it should release pressure out of this pennant. So I just wanted to point that out. That was really really something that stood out to me is if we get this crossover on the slow and fast for the stochastic for the daily, we should see some explosives to the upside. And then all in all, that would more likely present a W pattern on the stochastic, right? Because we'd have a two touches at the green line and then a crossover and then head back up to the overbought. So yeah, I mean, BA looks good. You know, it likes to, like you just pointed out too, it likes to pop and then, you know, create these pennants or these long drawn out triangles, which is all just correction, right? And then we pop again, set up for another pop. So earnings is around the corner, just like a lot of stocks we covered. And those are the kind of things that we're going to try and pay attention to this week, is seeing how the broader market is doing with their earnings, and then seeing if what we're seeing here tonight, if they're going to come alive for this week and provide the fundamentals for the technicals that we're seeing. So it'll be nice to see BA get out of this pennant and then push back over resistance at that previous breakout at 278 and start making its way to 300. So yeah, BA looks solid.
Yeah, looks good. Looks good. All right, let's get into next one here. Baba. So Baba,
Oh man.
still beautiful. So beautiful bullish divergence on the daily, has not left. It's still maintaining that bullish divergence. Bounced off of it again. Maintaining it very well. Selling pressure is extremely low. Extremely low selling pressure. Okay, and it's getting tight. It's getting tight, at least short term here. It's getting tight. We're gonna see if it breaks out of this. If it breaks out of that, then we should head to that 240 area, and then maybe we consolidate, or maybe we just start ripping from there. Our earnings are 521, so that's next month. That's a little too far for this breakout here, so I think we break out before earnings. Have a nice push. That long-term uptrend is still holding. Looks good. Don't think that we drop it down past these lows here. If we do drop it down, we just drop it to this gap fill here.
Yeah, of course.
And then it would only be a short-term drop. I don't think it will last too long. I think it would be one of those dips, those quick dips, and then reverse, and then it rips. If that happens, I don't think it will happen, but I mean, this was so close, it should have done it there. But if it does sell off hard, it goes there quick, reverses hard, and then rips. I think that is a very strong possibility if it does that. If not, then I think that we just break this downtrend tomorrow. Let me double check on the 4-hour chart and see what we're looking at. RSI wants to get above 50. DMI cross. The stochastics looks good. Yeah, we're gonna test that downtrend tomorrow. So I think it looks good to break it. Honestly, I think it looks good to break it. That should break it tomorrow, and then we should head up to that 240. Looks good. Let's go to the hourly. Hourly above, yes, looks good, looks good. All right. Yep, uptrend looks good. All right, we're gonna meet up here and here. This is basically setting up like a little ascending triangle pattern. We're gonna be setting up, build that consolidation, and then pop it. and then pop it to that 240. So 240 is going to be my next target. So we could have definitely an $8 move towards this downtrend, and then this downtrend is going to be the major player on if we're going to break that 240. So above this 240 area is going to be extremely bullish. So I'm going to be bullish above that 240 on the daily. Bullish above that, and then we'll go to 250 and then 260. 262 is our major target for that gap fill, and it's a monthly support area. Once we get above that 263 area and hold, then we should be going to 280, 290, and then 300. So still long term, 300 is our target. Well, 337 and 360 is our targets. Once we break these downtrends, and I think that it's ready, that bullish divergence, and not only from here, right? It's from here that our bullish divergence starts. So our bullish divergence is from back here. So we've been in this divergence here, and we have a stochastic bullish divergence as well. So this stochastic bullish divergence and the RSI bullish divergence is mashing up well, and then our DMI telling us buyers are in control. Momentum still to the upside. Selling volume is still low. Once we break that downtrend, our buying volume should come in hard, and then we should start heading higher, pushing harder. All right, so BABA still a long term. I did mention to get August calls on BABA, so anybody who is worried and that got those the August calls, then you know, you have several moons to be unconcerned about. All right, let's go to MMM. MMM, we mentioned last time that it's just going to pretty much slowly move up, 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 and that's what it's been doing. It's hit our targets of 199 and 201. Currently, it's above our targets of 201.50, and we're saying that, hey, we're going to go to that 219. So we're still on track to come to that 219. If we do pull back, then we have that 20-day that's going to hold strong. But we do have earnings coming in on the 27th, which is Tuesday. So Tuesday, we're going to have those earnings. There is no bearish divergence on our RSI. If in reality there's a break above our RSI bull flag, basically, that we formed bull flag. We broke above that. I think that we're gonna have a nice push on the earnings, and then I think I would be a seller on there because after that it should consolidate. Because if we do get a nice push on the earnings, we're probably gonna get hitting this upper channel like it did here, and then we might pull back, and then I'll be a buyer again into the longs going into 224. 224 for sure. Anything to add on that, P?
No, yeah, just a slow mover. But it's been hitting where it count. It's been making forward progress. MMM has shown time and time again, same as IBM. It's running its course. Earnings is this week. So like you said, that top of that channel should act as resistance on a good beat. But then again, after earnings, definitely holding some, and would try to skim some off and prepare for the next dip if we do come back and lose 200. So yeah, that's going to be the game plan for me. MMM is still running. I mean, we got $70 until 2023 to make 270, right? So I mean,
Yep.
This stock it's showing. It's for everybody to see. IBM, MMM, two strong stocks that are standing out now, catching buzz. Now are across CNBC and across different analysts that are calling these stocks out, right? So I mean, this just shows that the train is beginning, and that this stock is looking for a monthly and a yearly breakout, as we already discussed. I think a couple weeks ago. So the MMM looks good. It's just a slow mover. It's had some big days, but its big day, I think, probably can come earnings, man. It's all about earnings this week. It's a big busy week. So some of our favorite stocks might leave some salty tastes in our mouth. Some of them might be like, they might be dropping us blessings, so it just all depends on earnings this week. But yeah, I ain't got nothing else.
Yep.
Looks good, man. I'm so happy, man. 3M and IBM is just playing out. It's looking beautiful.
Yep. IBM's been a nice winner. Now that going into nice winners, let's go into IBM. IBM, we had earnings, did good, popped it, pushed it, did well on those. Now setting up bull flag. We said be a buyer at that 141.50. That one held, and now it's holding. Now we're gonna see. We're gonna continue push this and go to our main target of 150, and then essentially our targets of 180 is our bigger one. But looks good. It's consolidating right now, and that bull flag. We go into a lower time frame. We can see here doing the same thing, just consolidating right on that level 141.50, right on there, holding nicely. Consolidating here. That is a nice bull flag. Nothing is telling me to be worried about this. The selling volume is very low. And going into the hourly, we see here RSI is steadily holding that 50. So that looks fine. DMIs looks fine still. We do have a squeeze building. It says it fired off, but it's after hours. I don't believe squeezes that fire off after hours. So that could go back to a squeeze. The sell volume was a little higher at the end of the day, but I don't think it was too much of a concern. Above that 141, we maintain our bullishness. And yeah, I am a bullish above 144.75. And I'll be bearish below 139.60. Okay, 139.60. I will be bearish below that as its previous support here. 139.40. 139.40. About 139.50. That would break the downtrend. I mean, it'll break the uptrend, and it'll be below our previous support. But overall, I think this is. I think if it does break that, it'll just back test this breakout and then take off. But looking at how this is setting up on the daily, I think it holds at 141.50 and continues higher. What do you have to say, P?
Yeah, no doubt. The RSI isn't too concerning. Like you said, it's taking a break on the daily, low sell volume on the lower time frames, as we can see, and on the daily for the last 3 days. So it still has room to run. It just had a stellar earnings, and this may be. I mean, last week those 2 days may have been times for investors to hop in and big money to jump in, because I did see a lot of dark pools, and I still do believe in IBM hitting 150 before we hit that gap fill. I think it's a big breakout we had over at 137, and it was a 2-year, 3-year breakout, right? So that was huge. I don't think we come back in and cave in and cap the 20-day. I think we should hold 141.50 and fire this bull flag on the 1 hour, 4 hour up to 147 and possibly 150. So IBM looks good. We just like you said, we've just been tracking it every week. and standing by it and seeing what it's doing. And so far, I mean, it hasn't sold at the levels we were recently tracking. So I would say IBM still has more left in the tank. It's just low sell volume, and we should be able to gear back up and break over 145 this week if that comes.
Yep. Looks good. And I'm gonna double check on our weekly breakout. Our weekly breakout still looks amazing. And this candle, as we mentioned, it should go higher and possibly to 147 by the end of the week. 150 could be a nice push. We already have the volume. It's already high. We should be higher though. Should be higher volume on the weekly, and we should at least push to 147. So
What's that? The leg on the weekly. What's that? 137 down to 120, 118. The first leg is bull flag.
First leg here.
Yeah.
Is 118.44 to 137.07. So here we should have a nice push. Let's go to a monthly chart. Yeah, this monthly chart. We should on this month. We should definitely have this push all the way to the end of the month, which is this week, I think. This end of the month is actually this week. So the end of the month we should have this candle. I wouldn't be surprised if this had a nice push and breakout, and we could go to 154. 154 hit that 100 day. Have the squeeze fire up because this momentum is coming fast to the upside.
Yeah, it needs to carry. It needs to carry it over to the other side.
Yeah, and the squeeze will fire.
Make impact.
Everything is telling us, hey, stay long. Monthly is telling us stay long. So we were gonna stay long on IBM, continuing the push. We got above the 200-day and the 50-day on the monthly chart, and we got above the 200-day on the weekly chart. Those are three strong resistance points, and I think that 154. See 154. So 154.
That's the monthly
100. Yeah, monthly 100 SMA on the monthly. Okay, and I'm gonna do that one orange here. So 100 SMA. That could hit. That could definitely hit. So some lottos would be a nice. Let's go to the hourly chart really quick. If we do break that 144, I mean, some lottos, we could be some 147, 148 lottos, even 150 if you want to go extreme lottos. But this could consolidate a little bit, but once it hits that uptrend, pop it, and this one could look like a nice winner, another winner.
Monday, Tuesday runner.
Yeah, another weekly winner, as it's been a multi-weekly winner. So that one looks good. All right, IBM, Costco. So Costco, we had mentioned to get in Costco at the bottom here at about 315, 317 area. We had mentioned to get in on there, and this one has just been a rocket. Just been keep going and going. It's established this bullish channel on the daily. It's consolidating now, but it's holding that 370.50 area. So that 370.50 area, if it maintains that, then we should be able to push to that 380 and a 383. We do have earnings coming up in 527, but that's kind of far away, so we're not too concerned about it yet. What we are concerned about is, let's go to the left here. So we're gonna see we do have a gap fill at 338, 383, and then we also have a previous resistance at 378. So we could form a huge cup and handle here, and basically, so I would be a seller about 378, 380 area, and then maybe it consolidates, makes a beautiful cup and handle, and consolidates until earnings. That would make sense to me. On the weekly chart, exact same thing. I think it does that, and then it forms a weekly cup and handle, and looks great. P, you got anything on this one?
Nope. Yeah, I'll be watching for 378. Seemed like it would be probably some resistance there. That's just something to look at. I mean, this one has ran from, you know, like we said, 315 and on up. It's definitely just been a straight monster, man. So I mean, it would make sense to just consolidate here, spread this channel out, and then wait for a bounce on the backside of that channel, and then it gives it a chance to run, and it gives it a chance to have more room in this channel. So yeah, this would be 1, 2, 3, long drawn out 3-wave, and then a correction 4, 5, and then back up. So
Yep. Looks good.
Yep.
Looks good. All right. Costco. See, we did DocuSign, Costco, IBM, MMM, BA, DOGA, QQQ, SPY. Somebody mentioned CVS. CVS, we have a nice channel on the daily here. It's going to form a little ascending triangle here. So if it breaks this 77 area, then it should be going to 79. 79. Let's see here. 79. And then 82. 82 is that resistance point. So we would have to go midway here, probably about 80, 50. And we would have those two targets before 82, and 82 would be our main target, and then there's main resistance at that. So as long as we maintain, it hit that 20-day, that 20-day has been nice support. So as long as we maintain that and break this ascending triangle to the upside, we do have earnings coming up 5/4, so that's next week. Not this week coming, but next week after. So if that breaks up, then we should run into earnings and go to that 80s point and then test that 82 strong resistance. Very bullish above 82. Going in the weekly chart. Yeah, very, very bullish above 82. And that could be a nice, this could actually looks like a nice cup and handle right here. Nice cup and handle. But 82 is still our main resistance point. We do have a squeeze firing to the upside. Everything else looks good. Cup and handle looks good. We looking up to break out. That CVS looks pretty good. Let's see this long-term uptrend here. Long-term uptrend looks nice. Let's see if we have a channel. Kind of a channel. Yeah, we could say that's a channel here. Okay, so we're on that so as long as we maintain this channel, then we're bullish on CVS. And you know, considering all of CVS is doing all the COVID testing and all the COVID things that they do, you know, it's a good rationale to be long CVS into earnings because they got a boost in you know, payments for COVID testing and COVID vaccines. So even though everybody hates it, you know, some places require you to do it. So that's good. CVS now going into LVS. So LVS, P mentioned LVS and the casino stocks earlier when we first started. So we did have earnings here. We pretty much didn't do nothing on the earnings, but what do we have here? We have a bullish pennant forming, just like we do on BABA and BA. So something to watch here. We got a squeeze. We got a RSI downtrending, but once we break that, get back above 50, this thing could run. So what do we do on this situation? LVS. Well, we look at this downtrend and we create alert withdrawing, and we say crosses above that, and we say bullish above it, bullish above on LVS. On LVS, okay, create our alerts here. So now we got, once we break that downtrend, we're going to get alerted that, hey, we are bullish here, and we're going to go towards this resistance here at 66 to be our first target. Or actually, it would be our major breakout, but also our first target here. Basically, we're going to be, let's see here, to 66.77. Our major breakout points, our first target is going to be right in the middle here at a 63.69. So our target there is target 1 on the daily. All right, there. So if we're breaking to the upside, we are going to go to 63 and then 66. Okay, now if we might happen, let's see, no, that gap is filled. So that looks good. Let's take it to the weekly. Take it to the weekly. So we had this gap fill, and that's where we caught resistance. Okay, so that 66.77 area was that previous gap fill. And then now we're forming a nice bull flag on the weekly chart. Let's see. Everything else looks fine. Let's see here. Let's see if this forms anything. Yep, has a little channel there. Got a little channel here. So can we push up and consolidate more? Yep. It does have a channel here, but I think that it would be a nice channel breakout if we do break above there.
Yeah, that's
Nice
what I was
channel
thinking.
breakout. Yeah,
Yeah,
nice channel breakout.
because
And
it's not making any other sense than to break out and test that resistance right there. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking a nice reset, nice come up off the highs at 66, 67 area down to 59 now. And I'm thinking if we were to pop this pennant, right, that gives us opportunity for those previous resistances, right around 70, 73 bucks. Now, if I'm not mistaken, on the weekly, you can see there's a lot of resistance as well up there near 70 and 72. As we got denied back in 2020 last year, same spot, $74, $75. But after that, it's a ripper. And this bull flag or this pennant should equate to breaking out over 74. We should see 78 as a measured leg for this pennant, right? So just something to keep in mind coming off holding this 618 and then that previous resistance level that we had. Was that? Somebody say something?
I didn't hear you cut out.
Okay, no, I was just saying, just holding that resistance right there at 60 bucks and then bouncing and holding. If we can get back above 62, I think this will be a buy for sure. It's got a solid opportunity. I like Vegas stocks right now coming after this correction.
Nice. Yep, that looks good. Check the RSIs really quickly here. Only thing that is one concern. The RSI, there's a little bearish divergence there on the RSI. But any drop on this would be a buy the dip. I think it would be a buy the dip.
Yeah, it's got a lot of moving
forming a cup and handle right from this gap fill. So this gap fill and form this cup and handle, and then we could definitely break out and rip. Keep in mind that everything's supposed to open in, what is it, June or July? June or July, everything's supposed to be open. So once that definitely happens, these ones should be ripping. But casino stocks look good. They all have this bullish pattern on the monthly. So whether that's uh, whether that's going to fire off this month or next month, I think next month could be the one where it goes. Nice squeeze on the monthly too, by the way. Nice squeeze
Yeah.
on the monthly. Nice squeeze on the monthly with momentum to the upside, and buy volume is good. Uh, RSI over 50 looking good. Stochastics looking good. Holding its moving averages, that is very
Mhm.
good. So, I mean, we had that big candle through our moving averages, and now we're holding them. That's a good sign. Yeah, this one definitely going to be on my radar. And why is that here? This should be here. Let's see here. Let me double check that. Oh, let me see here.
Yeah, some of the best ones to go long right now, they're looking like are just hovering right around their 100 SMAs, as you can see with LVS here. Right. So they look. I think casinos are good longs, good too.
Yeah, looks
Regardless.
good.
Yeah.
आज पनि डेली राखेको छ साथी मेरोमा पो भोलिको लागि
Let's see.
स्टक किनेछौ त्यही छ
All right, we'll do Tesla here. Let's see here. What did we do? AMD? Yeah, we did AMD. Let's see here. Tesla. All right, Tesla here. All right. Tesla here. Let's go here. So Tesla, we are in the chop zone right now, right? So we lost this channel here, and we try to get it back here, and then we got rejected here, and now we're just basically, let me delete this. Now we're basically in a bull flag on two separate occasions, right? So we're on a bull flag here, and we have a bull flag here. So here we're holding this breakout level of 17 or 717.85, holding that channel, holding the 100 day. Earnings is what's that tomorrow after market close. So Monday after market close, we could get to that 850, 830, 850 area, and then pull back. Maybe we get higher. Who knows? But I think that would be a nice area. Can it push through that area? Sure, it can. But I think let's go to the weekly. Will it pull back? I think the correction's already done on the Tesla. I think that this was a nice pullback, and I think that we go to our next push towards 1,000. Towards 1,000, 1,200, maybe 1,100, 1,000 to 1,100. I am holding long on my calls for I think it was June on Tesla, and I think that we have a little dragon pattern on Tesla here. Got a drop down W and then a little dragon head, and it could possibly a push and rip on there. So I am going to maintain my long on Tesla. We have our 20 days coming up, and 200, I mean, the 100 is holding. Our 200 is way down here. Moving averages, it should get away from them. It should start moving away from them. So QQQ is
Yeah.
looking good. I think Tesla's looking good. Going to the hourly. We are in this chop zone. Like I mentioned already, we're in the chop zone. Once we get above that, I've been telling you guys above that 737.60, we are bullish. Did get above here, and here, but they dropped down. We couldn't hold it. We have to hold that 737. Okay, here we
Yeah.
try to hold it and down, and then back up. Try to hold it down. So here we made a higher low here, so that is a good thing. So this higher low is pretty much telling us, hey, we could possibly get above that 737 tomorrow and hold it this time, and then that's going to be a good indication that we're going to pop. So that's what we looking at Tesla. P, you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, I'm just tracking it from the same angle, man. And moving averages are about to cross over. We're still making higher highs and higher lows. The trend is still in effect, and Tesla is just waiting on its earnings to dig itself and provide actually the true action of why it deserves to go up, right? So I mean, coming towards earnings, it's always 50-50. But judging by the correction that we had back in February, and then now coming off lows and showing, I mean, each time we break out, each time there's a resistance established, we see with Tesla that there's a back test of it, right? So we had a resistance heavy at 700, 711, and we're just holding it now. And we can't get above 737 just yet, but we're looking for a major target break over 777, and then we should be able to run up, like you said, and fulfill this this broadening ascending wedge that Tesla's in on the weekly and on the monthly. So yeah, it's just all about ER this week. Nothing too much, nothing too crazy about Tesla. But I mean, it would be crazy to see it fall out of this support trend line and this bullish momentum that it's had on ER. So
Yeah, we maintain.
It's always Tesla, right? So I mean, they're going to be the spotlight earnings after hours tomorrow. So that's just going to be something that's going to set the mood for the week.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Watch out for them tonight or tomorrow night, and see how they perform.
Yep. Yes, sir. All right. Cool. Now we are coming up to our time. We've already been on for an hour. So we're gonna take two questions only on this, and then we'll post some charts later on tonight. So what do we have? BA we already did. We already did BA.
PLTR, please.
We already did BA.
What about Google, Steve?
Let's see here. Facebook here. We could go back to Facebook here. We do have the text, so we do have that cup forming that we mentioned before. We did have this channel. It broke that channel, but we're maintaining that support at 300. Earnings coming up 428. So that is what was that, Thursday? No, it's Wednesday. So Wednesday on here, and I think that it goes. It's still holding as long as we maintain that 300. I think that we go. We have this downtrend here. Downtrend. I think we break that downtrend tomorrow. Actually, let me look at the hourly. Yeah, I think that downtrend is broken tomorrow. We have a nice bullish channel. I mean, we have a nice bullish divergence here on Facebook. Bullish divergence here as we are going lower. We're going lower and we're going higher. I'm long tomorrow on Facebook. Facebook, that's a no-brainer right there. That one's gonna break the downtrend, and we're gonna pop it. We're gonna go towards 310, possibly. We're gonna go first target here. It's gonna be 305. I say 305, and then a possibility that we go towards that 310. Let me check the highs. Yeah, we could go 305, 310 this week before earnings, and then I would be out for, I don't know if I want to play earnings, but it looks good. Don't get me wrong, it looks amazing. Let me look at the weekly breakout. Actually, man, I wouldn't mind playing earnings on this one. Actually, this one looks good to push. I think this one does well on earnings. I really do.
Yeah.
After looking at everything, it looks good.
Yeah.
I'd be long on it. So actually, this is actually Friday was a gift for Facebook, as the bullish divergences are in line. This is big, very evident that it wants to push. So Facebook looks good. Setting up bull flag right above our support at 369. So This one's gonna go, and oh, look at that beautiful squeeze on the 4-hour. Yeah, I'm gonna get in this first thing Monday morning.
The daily is
Monday morning
losing
first thing.
losing its stochastic oversold. So I mean, it definitely could be looking for a bounce here.
Oh
Right
yeah,
before
yeah. Stochastic setting up.
on the
Yeah,
daily.
we're
Yeah.
looking for a bounce, but the bounce is going to be, I think, a short
You see
bounce.
this right here, this is what we want to see right here. This right here, right? You see the 20 okay, yeah. So you see the low on the RSI right there all the way to the left, right? Continuous bullish divergence throughout it, right? And then we have this overdrawn stochastic from the last 5-6 days, right? And we still haven't gone nowhere if you look at the price action, right?
Yep.
Fugazi. That's Fugazi selling right there, right?
Yep. Low volume selling too.
Yeah, and then that just drew the stochastics down, and it's basically waiting for a pop. So I mean, now you bring this situation in, right, where you have earnings week this week, who Facebook can provide sentiment to and from, right? So if you have some, I don't know who's reporting Tuesday. They're reporting Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
Okay, so whoever's
AMD is reporting Tuesday, I think.
yeah, any technology or social media driven stock that's reporting before Facebook, or even just in general, the big ER names, it might just send this one over 305 just because. I mean, it might be over 305 tomorrow, but yeah, Facebook right here holding this 300 support is solid. I think it's ready to pop too. It's same consolidation, same long drawn out monthly bull flag, weekly bull flag as Amazon. Only thing different is that Facebook is about three weeks ahead of Amazon as far as price action and their similarities. So yeah, I like Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook looks good. Facebook looks good. I forgot to go over some stocks that we went over last week So let's go into those really quick, and then we're gonna have to cut this one. All right. So what was it? NEO.
Yep.
NEO. We had mentioned to get long NEO here on these ones. I said those double candles are telling you to look and go long, and that uptrend support holding everything. NEO has earnings at the end of the week on Friday, and I mean, it's doing exactly what we said. We said first it was going to go to that 37, okay, and then once it was over that 37, it'd go to that 39. Once it was over that 39, it was going to go to that 42, and it's on its way to that 42. Once it goes above that 42, 45, and 47 are on its way. I would be long it. Earnings, I mean, the squeeze hasn't even fired yet. The momentum pushing up.
Same thing as Apple.
Fired, and DMI crossing over. DMI crossing over. RSI crossing over. Stochastics. Everything looks good on this. NEO is just it's fire. We got in at the bottom here, and we maintained it, and we took some profits, but we're still long it. Still long it. Still long NEO. Probably get some more longs on NEO as I think that this breaks this 42.02 and tests that 50-day and then starts an uptrend. So we had that bullish divergence. That bullish divergence didn't steer us wrong, and we're going. I don't think this bullish divergence is done until we break some highs at 45. Actually, until we get to that 100-day, I think that 100-day is going to be major resistance. I think we'll get to that 50-day, and then we'll consolidate a little bit, and then earnings will pop us over, and then get us to that probably 50-day, 100-day, and then set us up to push higher. I think this one is golden. Let's look at the uptrend here. Here. Can we get that as an uptrend?
Yep.
Yeah. We get that as an uptrend. All right. That looks good. We could push, and our 20-day, which is at 47.80, is going to line up with our 100-day. Yep, right there. So that is going to be our major target, that 47.80 level. And that's where we're gonna be looking at some resistance and consolidation, and then possible cup and handle form. So Neo looks great. What was the other one that we looked at? Neo and
Yeah, Neo was like I was explaining a couple weeks ago that Neo is a few weeks behind Apple's price action. They look almost similar, remember? And we were waiting on Apple to fire that ascending triangle, which it did. And here we are seeing Neo a couple weeks behind Apple doing the same exact thing, right? So definitely, if we can look at Neo and Apple side by side, their price action is literally a time late 3 weeks, 2 weeks. So looks good for Neo to push 47. That will be equivalent to basically Apple seeing that 134 that week, right? As that target. So.
Yep.
Hey, Steve, did you guys do Microsoft yet?
Nope.
No, we didn't do
Yeah.
Microsoft. Microsoft wasn't on the list.
Okay.
We'll post some chart on Microsoft as we're out of time.
Right.
So we're out of time. We'll post a video. Stuff's recording.